How's it going, guys? My name is Pakazak, and I'm in my studio. Finally, this is the first video of me in my studio because the first few days I was traveling. And yeah, so today I'm going to show you how to make this synthesized hi-hat sound that sounds like this. Yeah, sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty realistic to me. And this will also be part of my synthesized drum kit series, which is a playlist I created that you can go check out right now. Check out all the other ones I made and all the other sounds I made. And I actually got this from my snare, the synthesized snare I made. And I noticed that one of the uh, operators had a hi-hat sound to it. I mean, it wasn't fully there, but it just gave me ideas on how to make it even better. And this is what this sounds like. Oh, I'm sorry. It's this one. I'll turn that up actually so you can hear better. Actually, yeah, it sounds pretty damn close to what it is to what I have right now, actually. And but yeah, I kind of wanted to make it a little bit better, so I kind of fooled around with the modulator because there's only two operators that I'm using, the modulator and the carrier. And operator 4 is the modulator, which is it was already like this at 16 from the snare that I made, but so I just kept it that way because I wanted a higher frequency sound anyway. And I also layered it with noise just a little bit, and then I messed with this. Before it was just in the snare, it was just like the fundamental harmonic wasn't even there. It was just like this one I think was up, and then that was like that, I'm pretty sure. But I actually put the fundamental back in along with some others just to give it just different sound, and I made the phases all random just because I wanted it noisy, and I also wanted to modulate the carrier, which is a triangle, with just like kind of like noise, because that's what I think of as hi hat. If you think about it, it's kind of like a tss, tss, tss. It's just like kind of high pitch, just high noise, and but with like an attack to it. So like it has that impact, which is why I used a pitch drop at first, and that's usually what gives you that percussive jabby stabby sound to it. And it actually it turns out doesn't even really matter. Here, I'll show you the difference. Actually, it might even sound better without that. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I just did that because I thought, but it actually doesn't even really matter. Probably because it's like there's just a lot of high frequency information in the sound. And of course, just a volume envelope just so it lasts just as long as a normal like kind of closed hi-hat would sound. But yeah, and just a triangle, simple, no big deal. And if you do want to oh yeah, that's right. So I was gonna put it through this filter, which is just a high pass, but I decided I just wanted to use an EQ just to do the high passing because I just feel more comfortable with it. And so I definitely high passed it, and I actually raised this uh, particular range of frequencies here because without this EQ here, this is what it sounds like. And it just doesn't sound like doesn't sound too like that attack hit sound of when someone like hits on a hi-hat. And I wanted that solid sound, so I was kind of searching, sweeping the frequencies, and I found a pretty wide range. And if you just take like a pretty wide range, because that's pretty wide for a notch filter anyway, and just raise it up, and those particular frequencies has just made it sound more. It just sounded more realistic, and it gives it that hit quality that I was looking for. And so that's all the EQ is doing. But in back to Sytrus, it's just going through very bright reverb with a really, really low decay. I mean, probably, I think it's like zero point 0.2. Yeah, it's like 0.1, zero point 0.2 seconds. And then, but quite a bit of like the wetness, the wet volume of the reverb is pretty high. So it just gives it more, excuse me, a little bit more space and sort of like a metallic-y sound as well. And without it, it sounds, I mean, you can just hear it a little bit. It just, it's almost like a taste thing. You don't really even need that. But yeah, so that's basically it. That's how you get that hi-hat sound. And oh yeah, also this is actually pretty important. I almost forgot about this. There is Unison, and this was the same as the snare, and I just left it like that because without the Unison, this is what it sounds like. It's completely different. It doesn't sound like a hi-hat at all. It sounds metallic-y still, but it sounds like some other weird thing. And so with the Unison, it kind of like clouds it up a little bit. And of course, I think I left this the same as what the snare was on. I'm pretty sure all these settings. But yeah, the pitch is up, and it just kind of clouds up the sound and makes it more, almost more like of a solid, not solid, but like, of course, because solid's like the opposite of cloudiness, I guess. But more of just like more noisy, I guess, rather than a solid, really too solid metallic-y sound. So I just turned that up. That was just left from the snare, and it just works out that way. And yeah, so that's basically it. Let me know if you have any questions about this or any suggestions you may have for future videos. I would love some ideas. And yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, I'll see you next time.